What's really frightening for us as parents is to think what's going to happen to our grown children with intellectual disabilities when we die. Population of possibilities is a coming together of a shift of thinking where there's no longer an apartheid, a separation, a putting aside of these adults with intellectual disabilities, where we can bring them in and love them and accept them as part of life. Population of possibilities is trying to create a world where they will thrive and be happy and be safe and enjoy life. Population of possibilities is going to showcase all the new ideas that are out there coming from this generation of parents like me. We might do organic farming, there might be different ways of living and ways of working that no one's thought of before, and it'll all be in one place. When we have new information, we're going to put it up on Population of Possibilities and let everyone come to the site and learn and grow from it. It only takes one person to build a new idea or to think of something new outside the box, such as in California, them starting a whole business around a popcorn cart for a young man who had an obsession with popcorn. He ended up making over $200,000 and they opened up 4 more popcorn carts. I don't want these stories to get lost. I want to showcase these stories in Population of Possibilities. I'd like to see parents get more involved creating new centers where they do use the government money that's available, but they also add their own fundraising to it so that the staffing can be great and so that the learning can be great, because the brain learns all throughout life, and so do our children that are now adults with intellectual disabilities. They can learn new things, they can do new things, they can have a new smile every day for new things that they learn. And I think these centers can be in every town and every big city across our nation, and it's not going to take that much work, it's just going to take new ways of thinking. It can happen to anyone. I was just at the airport where the gentleman sitting next to me told me his brother-in-law fell on the cement and hit his head on the curb and is now completely intellectually disabled. They're teaching him how to think and how to do little toddler things. So this is not that far away from any family. People with intellectual disabilities can be born that way or it can happen through an accident. We need to open our heart and mind to all of them. Some of the more successful programs we've been visiting are hybrid programs. They use the government money that's out there, but on top of that, they raise money through private funding. Some of them could be 501c3s that do private fundraising, or they can think of some creative ways to add money to the equation so that the staffing is higher. The key is the staffing. When the staffing is higher, there's more activities that can be done. They can do some art, they can do computer, they can have more facilities. They can get their brains moving and learning and be stimulated rather than sitting alone in a room with some broken puzzles to sit next to and no one to talk to all day long. Adults with intellectual disabilities can have healthy bodies and they can live to their 70, 80 years old. So we have to devise a life for them as an adult just like we would for anyone else. We can't just put them in a room, in a dark room, and give them 3 wooden puzzles and say, call it a day. Apartheid is a scary word. We think of South Africa, we think of revolutions and murders, but apartheid also means when you hide something away and you divide them. And in this country, we've divided the people with intellectual disabilities and hidden them away. They're not out in the open and they need to be brought back into our world. We need to share jobs with them, we need to share happiness, we need to share hope with them. So in each state, in each county, we need to have programs that are hybrid programs where we do use the money that's available for the government, but we enhance that money by private fundraising and creative financing so that we can raise more staff, money for more staff to do more things, so that there's a center where they're not just going into a movie room once a week or playing a puzzle all day long, but they might have some computer, they might have art, they might be able to walk and be healthy, learn to cook, learn to be prepared for jobs, like our story of the popcorn boy, learn to start a little home business. And if we don't start these centers, then nothing's going to change. But I think we are ready to change. There's a new generation of parents that want to see better for our children and are looking with eyes wide open what the possibilities are. How this all started was I was traveling around the country looking at different programs, looking at different mental health attitudes and different places for my daughter to have a day program when the school was over. And I realized that the whole country was in crisis, that there were no programs, there were no solutions out there, and it was a really scary thing. We're going to showcase some programs that have been developed over a 10, 20, or 30-year period that's going to help give ideas to other groups, that's going to show them how they also can start a program like this. Without knowledge of what's going on in other states and even other countries, we're not going to know what the answers are. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel if we can find a successful organic farm, if we can find a successful way of job training, if we can find a successful way of customized employment. Or perhaps there's a little bit of this program and a little bit of that program that some community in North Dakota or Memphis or Georgia can use as an example and put together. We may even find other countries are looking to us for ideas. We can share ideas all around the world. And that's the purpose of this video, is to showcase anything that's working, anything that's a new idea outside of the box that can bring hope and thrive to this community of adults with intellectual disabilities.